So, tonight I finally get to review Lady in White. Now, Lady in White, I have two because one time I was out hunting and I didn't know if I had this version, so I ended up buying it. It doesn't matter. Then I found the director's cut. I watched both and I tried to find out what the differences were. The only difference I could really find was that in this one, there's a scene where the dad's watching TV and there's like racial things going on the news and stuff like that. But besides that, I couldn't really find any other differences. I mean, I have to look harder, I guess. But this movie came out in 1988. It was directed by Frank LaLoggia, who didn't really do much after that. But I remember this movie when I was growing up. And it's about a kid growing up in a small town named Frankie Salati? Salami? Some kind of Italian name. And it's him and his brother growing up in this town, his older brother. And what the kid does is he writes stories. So people know him as that he writes stories, and on Halloween he's in class and he's telling a scary story.
That is, of course, unless the monster had a baby. But that's impossible. Or is it?
So some boys decide to play a trick on him and they lock him in a coat closet, I guess. And he can't get out, so he has to stay in there in the school. And during the night, a little girl ghost appears to him. And what happened is that 10 years before, that little girl had been killed there in that closet by a killer. So when he sees the ghost, he's just like tripping out. And I think one of the scariest things that I remember when I was younger was when the girl's in there dancing and singing and stuff, and then she realizes that he's there, or she knows he's there.
You ever hear a dream talking? Well, I did. Because you're always singing it. That's how I know. Did you ever see a dream? Who are you? I'm scared now. No, I don't want to play anymore. I want my mommy. I want.
So that creeped me out. And then the killer comes back when he's in there, and he doesn't know who it is. So the killer attacks him, and he starts having visions. And what happens is that the dad tells him that when they found him in the closet, he wasn't breathing. So you know where he was, the spirit world. So he's recovering in bed, and he wakes up, and his grandma's there taking care of him, and his grandpa's there. And what's his grandpa doing? Smoking up a storm.
Better now?
Sure, you're right. Just like my new wristwatch. Fix the leaking and keep us on thinking, huh?
Shut up, you. Who cares about your wristwatch? Stop smoke before you die too.
What's a die? Nobody's a die.
Come on, Grandpa. I'm trying to get over a crushed larynx. Could you please not fill the room up with smoke? Damn. So he starts investigating who could the killer be, and he ends up finding a ring that he can't figure out whose it is. And him and his friends decide to go like exploring, and they go to there's a house on the cliffs that belongs to the little girl's grandma. They don't know that. They think it belongs to the lady in white, which is like a legend that she haunts the cliffs. And they're exploring in there, and they come across the grandma, who's like a creepy old lady, and creepy old ladies creep me out. But what does happen is one of the guys loses his little pet alligator.
Where'd he go? There he is.
Now I'm pretty sure that alligator took a dump in that dollhouse. So it keeps going to where it ends up that he finally realized they put the blame on a black janitor through the movie, but then they finally release the janitor and they say that it's not him, that they have to let him go because it wasn't him, because another kid got killed while the janitor was incarcerated. So justice has been fulfilled. They release the black guy, and then this happens.
Thank you. That means a lot coming from you.
Kind. Very kind. That's for my Richie.
Really, movie? Racism? So the black guy gets killed. So they're still trying to figure out who's the killer. Who's the killer? And I'm not gonna say who the killer is because I don't want to spoil it. But when the killer and the kid realize, the kid realizes this is the killer, and the killer realizes he might just have to choke a bitch. And the killer makes this face that when I was growing up, that just like horrified me, and I had nightmares from it. And that's it. I'm not gonna spoil the end for you. You have to see it yourself. But it is The Lady in White. It stars Lucas Haas, who people know from Mars Attacks and that film with Winona Ryder where he's trying to bang Winona Ryder. I can't remember what it is, but this is him as a little kid. And some other guys. I think Alex Rocca is his dad or something like that. But it's a good movie. Most of it takes place in Halloween, but then it goes into like Christmas and stuff. But the beginning is all Halloween. So I hope you guys check out Lady in White, and see you next time.